manager, and I'm also the leader for this trip.
Okay.
So I led this trip last year, and I'll be leading it again this year. Marcelina goes by Mars. You want to say hi, Mars?
Hey.
Hi.
I work for Next Tribe also, and I do a lot of traveling with Next Tribe. And I'm the one that writes the member newsletters. I don't know if you've gotten any of that stuff, but I do, all the different chapters in different cities. So we're trying to get more involved in California. It's been a little hard because everything's like Texas, very spread out.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in kind of getting involved in local chapter stuff, you can always message me and I can help kind of connect people together. Which city do you live in?
I live in Benicia, which is about 40 miles outside of the Bay Area, out of San Francisco, and about 20 miles from Berkeley. It's kind of near Napa Valley, so it's up
nice
northern Cal.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll just go. So Mars went on this trip 2 years ago, I think.
Yes.
And so she can speak to her experience, and I'll talk about what we did last year. It's a little bit different itinerary this year, tweaked a few things, but I'm going to share my screen and we'll go through the whole itinerary and just talk about day by day and all that. And then at the end, you can ask any questions.
Okay.
Okay. So let's share the screen. Maybe. Here we go. Oh, for crying out loud. Why is this always so hard?
Because I change everything every time you turn around.
Why don't I see the window I need? Oh, hold on, you guys. I'm so sorry. We might have to. I had it all pulled up. Okay, let me close this. Boom. I thought I had closed all this out. Okay, now let me try again. Okay, well. Okay, here we go. I think third time's a charm. All right, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me make sure that is full screen. All right, so maybe one more thing. Make sure I'm recording. Okay, sorry about that. I don't usually run these. Okay, so Santa Fe. Have you ever been there, Rita? Or to New Mexico?
Oh, no.
Okay, it's gorgeous. We're going October 1st through October 4th, which is a week later than we went last year, because even though it is October, being so high in elevation, the sun is super intense and it still can feel pretty hot when you're in the sun. So we were trying to get a more autumn feel this year. So we're going a week later, October 1st through 4th. This is me. I'm the trip leader. I've just been pretty nomadic the past 10 years. I've lived in Taos, New Mexico, Sun Valley, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, but all places kind of in the Rocky Mountain West. So I love to hike and paddleboard and camp and all that. So Santa Fe is one of my favorite places. So Santa Fe, the vibe is just immaculate. It's so beautiful. Everywhere you look is just beauty and things that you want to take pictures of. And it's just such a unique place, the architecture and just everything. So we'll be staying at a hotel called Inn on the Alameda, which is lovely. They really loved it last year. It's really close to everything. You can walk to the plaza. There's a little bike path close by if you just want to walk. So you have a lot of freedom if you want to do your own thing or, wake up early, go out later, you can walk anywhere. What I loved about it is that there's just all these little shady nooks and crannies and courtyards where you can sit. They've got a great bar. It's called Joe's Tequila Bar. They make great margaritas. You get a good breakfast every morning. Last year, they raved about the breakfast. They said it was not just like your typical hotel breakfast, that it was really good. Southwestern breakfast. So when we arrive, we're going to go on a historic walking tour of the plaza area. And down there in the right-hand corner, you can see Mika. She's standing there in the denim shirt closest. Mika Chavez used to teach New Mexican history to middle schoolers in Santa Fe. And she's also a really good and very sort of well-known chef in Santa Fe. She teaches at the Santa Fe School of Cooking. So she's going to take us on a history tour around the plaza. And then we're going to walk up to Cross of the Martyrs, which has a beautiful view of the whole valley. We're going to be there in time for sunset. And Mika is going to make us a lovely picnic. And we'll have a plein air painting demo by this woman, Lisa. And she'll just kind of do her thing and paint the sunset. And it's really fun to watch her. Oh yeah, picnic and a little champagne toast. Really good food. Mika is great. And Mars, you can feel free to chime in anytime.
Okay. I was going to say I loved that. It was right at sunset when we did that. You know, hiking was a little, you know, it was a little bit of work, but you know, it was completely worth it because we got up to the top and there's this absolutely beautiful champagne brunch, or not brunch, you know, just charcuterie kind of thing, like I guess showing. It was just gorgeous.
Yeah. And it's not far in distance. And there is one from where we're doing the tour. It's a pretty steep but short walk up there.
It was totally doable, but it was just, you know, a little bit of work.
But we also will have a van. So if somebody doesn't want to walk, they don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we have tweaked the order of the days a little bit. I can't exactly remember which day, but we are going to go to Georgia O'Keeffe's home and studio tour out in Abiquiu, which is about an hour from Santa Fe. We'll drive out there. And I did it for the first time last year, and it knocked my socks off. I just could not believe how cool it was. The tour guides are so knowledgeable, and you can tell they just love her, you know, the way they speak about her and her life. So you actually get to see and walk through her home and her art studio. And the cool thing is that, well, this isn't cool, but she left one day to go to the hospital because she was not feeling well and she thought she'd be coming home and she didn't come home. And everything is left exactly how it was when she left that day. So it's super legit and authentic. And it's just so everywhere you turn is something beautiful.
We were so in awe of like being able to like look at her dresses hanging in the closet and her hats,
yeah,
the shelves, and her handwritten spices that it, you know, it was so intimate. It's like going into your you just can't believe it's her stuff. So
handwritten phone number list by her phone.
Recipes.
Just recipes. It's like amazing.
The dress patterns, how they made she had all her dresses custom made by somebody, and they're all cute patterns and stuff. Oh, it's just cool.
It's really, really cool. So home and studio, and then we have lunch in this beautiful shady courtyard there in Abiquiu. And then we go drive up the road a little bit to Ghost Ranch, which is where she lived some of the time and did most of her paintings, most of her most famous paintings. And again, the tour guides are just so cool. They know so much and they love to talk about it. So you stand right in the spot where she did the painting and you see a picture of the painting, you see what she saw, and you're standing right in the same spot. And you're in a van and you drive from location to location down this one road and you stop at a few places and the guide will tell you about the painting that she did there. Then, like I said, we're switching things around. We're going to do this different, but this woman's name is Norma and she is a member of the Ewenge. I'm probably saying that wrong, but she's Native American and she does traditional. This back here is called an orno, this clay oven, and she does traditional Native American, New Mexican style cooking, and we get to help with everything. And she gets almost all the ingredients right there from her property, and her family comes and helps prepare and serve. And it's just a couple people last year said, yeah, I really wasn't that excited about that experience. I was just kind of going along. And then they said that ended up being their favorite part of the whole trip.
It was very personal.
Uh-huh.
And it felt incredibly welcoming to come into and seeing the Pueblo too. I'd never been in a Pueblo before.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing their community and just being able to kind of be welcomed into their home, and their
Mm-hmm.
family members were there and helping. And it was, we all got to actually make the dough and make the meatballs and cook it all. And it was super cool. It was such a unique experience. I'd never done anything like that before. I love
Yeah.
it.
And that's one of the things the Next Tribe likes to do is unique experiences that are really part of the place you're visiting, meeting the women who live there. And it's not just your typical, tourist attraction stuff. So that was an awesome night. And we're going to do it for lunch this time instead of dinner. And then we are going to Ojo Caliente Natural Mineral Hot Springs, which is, you guys went there, didn't you, Mars?
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
feel like you might have been a little rushed or something.
Because we did Ojo, and then we also did 10,000 Waves, I think, which seemed like a lot.
Right.
And
Too
I
much.
think it was a little
Yeah.
bit too much to do both of them. But Ojo
So,
was gorgeous.
oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite places. So
Yeah.
they're natural mineral hot springs, and there's like 4 or 5 different springs, and each one has a different mineral. There's like the lithium one and the iron one, and they're all different temperatures. And we're going to go kind of in the morning when they open, so it'll still be kind of cool out, which is nice when you're getting in the hot water. And they've got this beautiful pool with hammocks, and it's just a lovely place to relax. And we're going to have lunch there. And then, again, I can't remember which days these are at. We're not doing all this on one day. We're going to go to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum. And after having been to her home and studio, and then also on the landscape tour, seeing those paintings where you were just standing in the place where she did them and knowing what you know about her, it's a really moving, and it's just a really cool experience. So we saved that for towards the end after we have done the other Georgia stuff so that we can have more of a context for what we see in the museum. And then we will have a happy hour at a local artist's home on our last day there before we go to dinner at this restaurant called Orno, which is the name of the traditional oven that we cook in at Norma's house. But it's just really, really good food. And so we'll have a nice farewell dinner. Well, it's not farewell yet, but
If you're a foodie at all,
Mhm.
you're going to
Yeah.
really love that place. I mean, I was like the obnoxious person shooting a photo of every single thing I ate because it's so gorgeous and so
Yeah.
picturesque. It was just, oh my God, I
Mhm.
love that place.
It's
That's at the very end on the far right. You can just only see the top of my head, but anyway, that was
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, beautiful food and so yummy. And then finally, the next morning, we will drive up to this lovely place called Bishop's Lodge. Hoping, I put some aspens in there, so hoping some of the aspens will be changing colors when we're there. And we'll have a brunch at Bishop's Lodge, which is this beautiful property that's a hotel and a restaurant and stuff. So it's a pretty little drive up the canyon, and then we'll have brunch there and then say goodbye and go back to the airport. Fun and friendship. Yes. Oh, and this too. I forgot about this. So if you're coming and you want to stay longer and extend your trip, the Albuquerque Hot Air Balloon Festival happens the day that our trip is over. So
Wow.
you could, you could extend your trip, stay there a couple days. That's a super popular event. Or I used to live in Taos, and if anybody wanted to go and extend and check out Taos for a couple days, I could give you a good itinerary for that. But there's a lot to see. So yeah, that's what's happening in Santa Fe.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Rita, did you have any questions, or did you want to hear more about any of those activities? Or
I did have a few, thanks.
Mhm.
What is the policy on single occupancy?
So when you book a trip with Next Tribe, you'll always be given the chance to choose a double or a single. And the singles are a little bit more expensive than the doubles because you'll have your own room. So that's really the only policy. first thing. I mean, if you pay the extra, you definitely are not going to have a roommate. And then if you did want to book as a double, but you're a solo traveler, we'll match you with a roommate.
Yeah. I
So,
don't want to put that on a roommate because I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not an easy sleeper. So
okay.
I try to avoid that for my poor roommates.
Yeah.
That's an issue for a lot of us. That's my issue.
know.
Like I snore and I'm a very light sleeper
Me
and
too.
I
Mhm.
just really need the quiet, you know,
Yep.
by myself. So I get it. I totally get that.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so the transport back and forth to
Mhm.
Albuquerque Hotel, is that provided? No.
Sorry, I'm outside right now. I apologize. I'm actually at this really cool art workshop in Colorado. So, um,
Woo!
yeah. So so there's no hotel in Albuquerque that's included. So the hotel is in Santa Fe. If you want to fly into Albuquerque a day early, you could get a hotel, or you could just make it so you could fly into Albuquerque. You can fly directly into Santa Fe too. It's just a little more challenging. But I'm sure I mean, Albuquerque is an international airport. So if you fly into Albuquerque, there's most people will take a shuttle from Albuquerque to Santa Fe. Or you could take an Uber, be kind of expensive. You could rent a car if you wanted. But once you get to Santa Fe to the hotel, then you won't need a vehicle. Then I'll be driving you everywhere.
Okay.
So,
If we wanted to get there to the hotel like a day early or stay a day later,
mhm.
can we try to arrange to have the same room at the hotel, or how does it, so
Yep.
you would help with that?
Yeah, it just kind of depends on the hotel. Sometimes I can help. Sometimes they say, oh, they need to call directly and book. Most likely, what you'll do is make your own reservation. And then if you made a reservation, you'd reserve a single room so that since you'd be in a single room, I could tell you what kind of room to book. And then I'll tell our group salesperson, Rita's coming a day early, so please do your best to keep her in the same room. We can't ever guarantee it, but usually they can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to say that's Marcy's helped me with that several times.
Mhm.
When I was just in Rome on the Umbria tour, I was able to stay in the same room.
Oh, good.
And
Yeah.
coming from Seattle, I'm the same thing. I'm hoping to stay in the same room. But yeah, it makes it so much better to not have to change hotels. It's such
Yeah.
a neck to have to, and you just lose. You feel like you lose a whole day when you have to change hotels. So
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just a hassle.
yeah,
Yeah.
So we'll see
One
how.
of the things about New Mexico in general is they call it the land of mañana because people are so laid back. They are just so chill. And even this guy that we work with at the hotel, I think he's from Tibet or Nepal, and he's just the sweetest guy, and he's like so accommodating. So I might be able to get him to just tack on a room. So yeah, if
Yeah.
you decide to book, we can figure that out. But
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
And what is the deadline for booking? What are you looking at for?
Typically, so let's see, the first day of the trip is October 1st. So for domestic trips, it's 60 days. So that would be August or September. Yeah. August 1st. So about a month.
Okay. I've got
And
that.
yeah, so we don't have quite enough to fill the trip yet. So we're hoping we can just get a few more people to make the trip go. So if you were to book and then, we couldn't get enough people and we couldn't run the trip, you'll get all your money back, obviously.
Okay.
So we do advise people if they book a trip, not to buy airfare until they know for sure the trip's going to go.
Okay. Got it.
And we'll make that call far in advance. So,
Okay. I'm just writing some notes because I'm a nerd and I write my notes longhand. It's so funny. I've been to almost every state and I've been to all over the world and I just never been to Santa Fe.
it's
And
an
I love
awesome city.
art and I love Jojo O'Keeffe. So yeah, I'm
Mhm.
like, I think it's doable in this day and age right now to not that far.
Yeah.
It's not
If you,
across the world.
right. And if you love Georgia O'Keeffe, this is your trip because you'll love
Yeah.
her even more. She's just such a badass,
Yeah.
so far ahead of her time.
I
You
had
know,
been to Santa Fe before, and I'd been to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum before years ago, and I was like, man. But this time with Next Tribe, because we had gotten so much context and so much
Mhm.
history about her and the family that helps run the, all of that. It just made it so much more poignant. And you felt so like you're being led into her personal life, which is just,
Mhm.
you don't get that with most artists at all. Like to be able to
Yeah.
walk through their space and see their bedroom and see their, I mean, it was
Their
so
handwriting. That's what blew me away. The handwriting.
it was so intimate. Oh my God, I
Yeah.
love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you
And
so much.
the other bonus is, Rita, that normally we do a drawing. If you come to these where you get $200, if the winner of the drawing gets $200 off. So you're it.
Woohoo!
Oh,
You're
okay.
the lucky winner.
Yay.
So if you did want to book, what you would do is just book as normal,
Uh-huh.
and then I would deduct $200 from your balance.
Okay,
So,
great.
and then
Thanks.
Next Tribe members always get $100 off every trip.
Okay.
So if you wanted to become a member, then you'd have $300 off.
Okay, I
Mhm.
will check it all out online and
Okay.
explore a little more and let you know. It
Okay,
sounds like
sounds
a
good.
good one though. I'm looking, I
Yeah,
want to travel this year and
Yeah.
I don't want to travel abroad this year. I think it's a little dicey.
I
So I think
know.
this is a good alternative for
Yeah.
now.
I've traveled with other groups before, and this one, I mean, Next Tribe, because they're small, they're only what, max 15 people or something, right? They're
Yeah.
very small.
And that's a big group. 15's big.
Yeah, and by the end of it, it's people, there's a lot of opportunity to get to know the other women, and it's all women our age. So it's just,
Mhm.
it's just so great. We've made so many good friends. And now when I travel, like I was just in Salt Lake City and I got to have lunch with the Next Tribe member that I'd never met. And same thing in New York and Seattle and just different cities. I mean, we're not in every single city, we're in the bigger cities, but it's really helpful to have people. A young woman, not a young woman, a woman I went to grade school with, lives in San Diego, and she is starting to do Next Tribe stuff in San Diego and helping organize, things down there. And so that's really cool to kind of reconnect with somebody I knew, what, 50 years ago, 60 years ago.
No,
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And like 4 people or 5 people from Santa Fe trip last year all went to Charleston together.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
then a few of them are going to Machu Picchu, the Inca Trail together. So
Oh, wow, they're
yeah.
gonna do the Inca Trail. Oh,
yeah.
I've been to Machu Picchu. That's
Yeah.
an ambitious little.
Yeah, and the women on the Vietnam trip all had a travelers reunion in, where's that, Albuquerque? I forgot where that was.
Phoenix.
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 Mhm.
And they're all like, really fun women. So they all got
Yeah.
together in Phoenix and all stayed at somebody's house and had a big pool party and all of that. So we're definitely into like connecting and having a fun, community.
Yeah,
If you're interested, if you want to put your email in the chat and I can send you just what our member newsletters look like. I'll send you like the last one I sent out.
sure.
Yeah.
And just you can
And
kind of
that's
see what
Kiva.
we do in different cities and stuff like that. So
Okay.
although it's a little
And
quiet
then
this summer, a lot of the chapters are kind of on hiatus right now. So okay.
if you
Got it.
want to write down my email address, then you can email me directly if you have any questions.
Okay.
You can go to the website and click ask a question, but that's sort of circuitous. So you can get me directly. It's travel@nexttribe.com.
Nexttribe.com.
Mhm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad you came back and that we can hear and see you. It's definitely better that way.
Oh,
What's your background
that
image?
was weird.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's your background image?
My background image is Venice.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I wish I could go back every year to Venice. I think I might go next February. There's a artist and opera trip I might go on.
Ooh, nice.
We do have a Venice trip coming up.
Oh, I'll have to check it
And
out. Yep.
we have a really good Italy
Coupon
guide.
Bezos.
I know.
What a
Ew.
jerk.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Don't get us started, right?
I know. Yeah, I've been to Venice
Okay.
twice and I don't know. I've got a connection there somehow. It's really fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay,
All
well, thank
right.
you so
Well,
much.
so nice to meet you. I hope to see you in person.
Okay, take care, you guys. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for coming, Mars.
Okay. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.